Alrighty, my name is Ian and today I'm going to be reviewing the Leatherman Wave Plus multi-tool. This is the black DLC coated version, and I've got the pocket clip and lanyard ring and the black MOLLE compatible sheath with me. So first, let's start off with some size comparisons and generally just to get a feel for the size of this thing. It measures right around 4 inches in length. Kind of hard to see there with the light. About 1 3/8 inches in width, 3/4, 5/8 of an inch in thickness. And we'll do a couple size comparisons here. Before I got the Wave, sorry, that had a magnet. I had the Gerber suspension right there. You can see they're comparable size. The Wave packs in the tools a little bit tighter. There's a Benchmade bug out, about the same, close to the same size. The bug out's a little longer, but obviously bug out's much thinner and lighter. There's a Spyderco Para 3, and I like to do some size comparisons with everyday objects other than knives. There's it right on top of a dollar bill. Parker Jotter pen, if you're a pen person. A Field Notes notebook. Oh, why not? There's a Fender guitar pick, a thin one. I don't use the thin very much, but sometimes you just feel like strumming, you know. There's it with a US quarter. And lastly, I actually have a scale here, so we'll weigh it. It's a thick boy. 0. Weighing it at 8.5 ounces without the pocket clip or the lanyard. I think that's right, but I'm gonna double check, and if it's wrong, I'll go back in the edits and say so. So with it weighing that much, that is about 3 times what one of these pocket knives weigh, and a good bit, almost twice as much as what a good sized phone weighs. So it is a heavy thing to carry in your pocket. This pocket clip actually clips in up here. You pull the lock on the side. Sorry about that. Come on, focus. You pull the lock on the side and it can slide right in there. Man, we're having some focusing issues. Anyway, there we go. You can kind of see that. And the pocket clip works pretty well, but it is just pretty big to have in your pocket, and you will notice. The lanyard ring goes in the same position, and I'll probably get into this later a little bit, but come on. There we go. But you cannot have the pocket clip and the lanyard ring on at the same time, which would just be kind of nice, because then if you clipped it into your pocket, you'd have the lanyard to pull it out really easily. But that's just a little thing. Now that we've gotten kind of some size and weight things out of the way, I'm going to give a quick tour of the tool. So it's called a butterfly opening style tool because it opens like a butterfly knife. And the primary tool that you have here is the pliers. You've got needle nose pliers, and they have replaceable wire cutters in there, and generally they're pretty heavy duty and good for a lot of random tasks. It's just a nice thing. I keep my tool in my backpack, and there's just a lot of random times, especially when you're a general contractor like me, where you can just use a pair of pliers. And then when you fold up the tool, on the outside you have 4 main tools. Well, you have 4 tools on the outside, and then there's more on the inside. You have a serrated edge blade, a plain edge blade opposite it, and you have a file and a saw blade. And then on the inside, you have a flathead screwdriver / pry bar, I guess, if you want to use it for that. A small set of scissors and a come here, you. I'm just gonna fold that out so I can get to this one. There we go. And a tiny little screwdriver that you can flip around to be either a flathead. Come on. Where's the little hole? There it is. Either a flathead or a Phillips head bit, good for like eyeglasses and that sort of thing. Really tiny screws. And then on the other side, you have another bit driver. This one takes Leatherman style kind of squished bits. It's not your typical 1/4 inch bit, but it's removable, and you can use flathead or Phillips head and stick it in there. And it also comes with a, or it doesn't come with, but you can order a separate set of these where you can get hex bits and square bits and all that good stuff. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that I like about this tool. It is really solid in build, and generally all the tools are pretty well executed and easy to use. Every single tool is locking. So you can see these front tools have liner locks with a little detent ball in there so they don't come out when it's just like sitting in the pouch or in your pocket, but they lock up really nice and well. There's no play actually back and forth or side to side, which compared to like my Gerber suspension that I had before had a lot of play that you don't want. And generally just the tool set of this is good. You have a lot of different options of things that you can use. Yeah, I think overall the thing that I like most about this tool is that it just it's really built with good quality in that all of the action, there's nothing wiggling around, nothing is loose, everything is tight and fits in really well. It fits in a very small package, which is just nice. I'll go through and kind of talk about what I like about each tool. The blade is actually done pretty well in the shape. You've got plenty of flat, and then it's got a pointy tip, which is great for opening packages and that sort of thing. And it's thin enough that you can do just regular cutting tasks and that sort of thing. The file has a diamond side for if you want to file like metal, and then it's got a rough wood file, or it's just not diamond, it's like just a regular file, so you can file your nails or a piece of wood or whatever you want to file. And serrated blade, just a kind of regular serrated blade. I don't have much good to say about that. The saw actually works really well. I've used it a couple random times, and for a saw of its size, it performs really well because the back is thinner than the front, which is just a key thing about having a saw work well. It's generally a good tool. Yeah, I don't have all that much good stuff to say about the inner tools. I guess I've had good experiences so far with the flathead screwdriver. Very sturdy. I've pried with a lot of weight side to side on this, and it hasn't loosened up, which is good. I also forgot to mention it's got these kind of inner ruler. It's got like a metric and imperial inches and centimeters or whatever there. So you could measure anything that's about 3 inches long accurately. Okay, now let's talk about the areas where it could improve. I'm not going to say bad because a lot of it is kind of subjective in what you look for in a multi-tool, but I think there are definitely areas that this tool could improve. Primarily, I hate the action on the pliers. That's the worst thing for me, and I haven't heard too many people talk about it. On something like your Gerber suspension, which I guess I was used to, the nice thing is they open for you with a spring, and that just makes it so much more enjoyable to use. Even though they've got weird amounts of play and stuff, this tool is just exponentially better to use for the pliers, because every time you want to open the pliers with this, you have to push with your fingers inside or use two hands or something, and then readjust your hand, grab again, and pull and push out. It's not easy. And it's, I guess, I've heard it's supposed to loosen up over time, but I tried for like 30 minutes the other day to lube this pivot and get it to move more freely, and it's just stubborn. And that makes the tool almost unusable for me, in that I would rather carry something like a Swiss Army knife that doesn't have the pliers and is much more compact and carryable than something where the primary tool in it, everything else is kind of just riding on this plier frame. The primary tool is just not good, and that's just such a bummer. Other areas, it opens with these like little slots for your thumb to push in, which is actually pretty well executed, but my question for it is why it's on the plain edge blade and the serrated blade, but not on the saw or the file, which is, the saw and the file have these little like kind of nail nicks in the bottom there that you can pull out, but I wish they had these too, because then you could really easily, you saw there I use my middle finger to push that out, and that's a common thing that you do with like knives, where you can flick it out with your middle finger, and it's just a really efficient way to open things that are located on that part of the tool. And if they're already taking up that space on this side, so if they just took up that space on that side, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Just go ahead and do that, Leatherman. Other issues I had with the tool, when it arrived, you could not, like, I would rip my fingernail off if I tried to use these nail nicks to get these off. Those took a lot of loosening up, and I had to use other tools to get them open. That's just annoying. Just get that right. The ruler, it's ridiculous. You can't measure anything over the length of this, because then you've got the kind of play in here as it moves back and forth. It just doesn't work. Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the good things is the black DLC coating is actually pretty good. One thing I did wonder about it, however, is if that might be part of the reason why this pivot doesn't move as freely as it could. I don't know, just a thought. I kind of, if I got to choose, I would get rid of some of the tools and have it be lighter. I don't really ever use a serrated blade. Scissors, a lot of people say the tiny scissors are really useful, but I think if you have a knife blade, why do you really need them? Or heck, even get rid of all the knife blades and just make this thing 2 or 3 ounces lighter, and it'll be so much more enjoyable to carry with a pocket clip. That would just be a big improvement for me. And then one of the big things is having all outside accessible tools would be really nice. They've done this with the Leatherman Free, but it would be, I like the tool set of the Wave, and I've heard bad things about the Leatherman Free pliers, and just that they have some things to sort out with like the ergonomics of hotspots and stuff. Those are the main things that I wanted to hit on, but overall, it's a solid and well-built tool, a little bit too heavy to carry in your pocket. You might want to use a sheath. This one is not great. I actually bought it because I thought I could kind of scout carry it, just like if you unbuckle the MOLLE compatible thing, which I don't have a backpack that'll work with this or a bag or anything. I thought I'd be able to slip my belt through there, and you can a little bit, but it's just not quite wide enough to fit a normal belt through. So I just get a different sheath, but I just prefer Scout Carry because when it's straight up and down on your hip, it gets caught on you when you bend over and stuff, and it's just really annoying. So it's more of a backpack carry thing for me, and I think it could be an everyday carry tool and a really good one if it were a good bit lighter. As well as those improvements where you could maybe add a thumb stud on the back here to middle finger flick stuff open, and other things that could be improved. Why the knives are like 420 HC steel or something, which is not great. They could be a lot better at the price point of $100, which I forgot to mention. Yeah, it's $100 tool or around that, and then you're gonna spend like 10 extra bucks to get the pocket clip or something. Yeah, it could be at least like D2 or something. And what was really annoying to me, and this is just kind of a side note about Leatherman tools, is there's a version similar to this, a Leatherman. It's the charged titanium version, and I was excited when I first heard about that because it's got like titanium scales here. The annoying thing is it's not any lighter. Why are you going to use titanium instead of steel if it's going to be the same weight? I want to have titanium so that it can be lighter. And that's what these really need, light to be lighter but have the same strength. So overall, the Leatherman Wave is a solid multi-tool. I would not buy it again because of the pliers and some other small things that I just think could really use improvement. But it is one of the best tools out there on the market because of its just good tolerances and general build quality and reliability overall. So hope you guys found this helpful, and just a few little pieces of feedback that I have that are different from other people. I hope that you find that helpful, and thanks for watching. Bye.